I'm going to try and do structure 1 on the same website as before. Who's taking too many fish? So it's just a matter of, and the ceaseless advertising. Okay, has been known, uh, for decades the food industry has been known for would be the correct way. So has been known would be the wrong one. Across the country, recreational and commercial fishers have been pointing fingers for decades over which group is responsible for increasing stocks of sports fish, growing stocks of sports fish, reduce, or dwindling. Okay, so pointing fingers is a negative thing, and having too much sports fish isn't really a bad thing. So increasing and growing are probably automatically wrong, because the fishers and and it should be fishermen, I think. This is very strange. So recreational and commercial fishermen are arguing about who's doing the bad thing, who's taking too many fish. So it's just a matter between reduce and dwindling, which is grammatically able to fit into this blank. And dwindling is the right answer, responsible for dwindling stocks of sports fish. Uh, Reducing would be great if it was one of the options, but it's not one of the options. This is actually a poorly written item. When I used to write tests, we always said it had to be balanced. So you could have two that were in simple form like this and two that were in ing form. But having three that are in ing form and one that's not makes this one really stand out. So someone's either going to think this is definitely right or definitely wrong, but they're going to choose it because it stands out so much. And that's not really a good way to write a test. So I'm not sure if this was really done by a professional. Okay, nearly all the brown bears in the United States reside in Alaska, which has an estimated 30 to 40,000 brown bears, also called grizzlies. Are resident in Alaska, reside, live, inhabit. Okay, inhabit doesn't work. Grammatically, we don't say inhabit in. And you could say reside in Alaska, but what they're trying to do is to trick you, because reside and being resident are usually exclusively for people. People reside in a place. Animals live in a place. Um, so they're just being tricky. But if you said reside in Alaska, it would just sound, you know, like a unique way of saying it. There's nothing seriously wrong with it. So I don't really like that question. The Eiffel Tower was built. The National was built. The International Exhibition of Paris of 1889, commemorating the centenary of the French Revolution. So it's here, was built for, or was built due to, or something like that. You cannot just have was built the international. That doesn't work. International trade in the world's 20-odd variety of sturgeon. International trade in the world's 20-odd varieties of sturgeon has been regulated by the United Nations since 1998 after a drastic rise in poaching. Yeah, has been regulated. So you have to know poaching is a bad thing. And so you would regulate a bad thing. You wouldn't promote a bad thing. Okay, I'm running out of time. After muscle fiber has worked intensely for a while, it begins to lose potassium, and that dampens the fiber's ability to contract. Should be for a while or for a long duration or something. We cannot just say for a while in this case. Food is, after all, an important part of Chinese culture, and mission controllers say it is important to ensure that China's space pioneers do not go hungry. Important, make sure that food is provided for China's space pioneers. Okay, to ensure that. It is important so that China's space pioneers. That also works, at least naturally. I don't know what the rule books say, but you could say it is important. So food is, after all, an important part of Chinese culture, and mission controllers say it is important so that Chinese space pioneers do not go hungry. I don't like this question. Okay, astronomers on blank announced the discovery of a new and possibly abundant class of planets that has more in common with Earth than the uninhabitable gas giants previously discovered. Astronomers on observatories, on university research labs. No, it would be in university research labs. It would be from NASA or on NASA. It would be on Tuesday. So, so tricky. Astronomers on Tuesday announced. Okay, the hospital is now discounting 10 standard operations and equipment ranging from having a baby and treating a cataract to undergoing a heart bypass. No, and procedures. So you have to realize that a heart bypass and treating a cataract, these are procedures. They are not a kind of medication, they are not a visit, and they are not a kind of equipment. The thing is, this is kind of a dumb question because I don't hear of hospitals discounting. Having a sale, that doesn't sound like a hospital. Dumb question. Okay, the problems of squaring a pan-European agenda with the national interests of 25 separate countries. The process of integration, a slow, complex, and a sometimes divisive one. The problems of squaring a pan-European agenda with the national interests of 25 separate countries often affect the process of integration. A slow, complex, and at times diverse one. Often causes the process of integration. No. Often have made the process of integration a slow, complex, and at times divisive one. So have made. So it often has made the 25 separate countries the problems often. Okay. Problems of squaring a pan-European agenda with the national interests of 25 separate countries have made the process of integration a slow, complex, and at times divisive one. This is a difficult question. You only get this from reading a lot of texts of this type when you see how they structure it. Okay, and the 2000 census showed, sorry, there's a large truck outside now. The 2000 census showed that married couples blank half of the 2 million households in the state, and 46% of those couples had children under roof. Let's show that married couples made up. Yeah, they made up. They incorporated. They were the building block of. And you have finished the score. Your score was 20 out of 20. Hooray! I didn't get any wrong. Okay, I think this video is too long to upload at once, so I'm going to cut it in half. We can discuss it more when we meet, but yeah, those are the answers. I don't like all of these questions. I'm very critical of test makers because I helped make tests in the past, and it seems like this particular test was made sloppily in a couple of ways. So hopefully the real TOEFL won't make these kind of small mistakes. These kind of sentences, Japan's latitudinal spread. You'll talk like that if you're a geographer. Normal people don't talk or write like that too frequently. So anyways, this is the end of this video. I think I'm going to divide it into two parts and upload it for you to appreciate. Hope all is well.